A lot of legal news today with massively huge ramifications. First of all, Rashee Rice, we got that one this morning. Rashee Rice, as of this morning, probably we're not going to know about his suspension until after week 4. So not going to be suspended to start the year. His hearing was delayed. Might get a mid-season suspension. That would be kind of worst case scenario. Potentially he misses some of the fantasy playoffs. But just before this stream started, just saw on Twitter, Andy Slater reporting that Quinshon Judkins not going to face any legal consequences. Prosecutors going to drop the charges. Now, double check that. Who knows if that's true, but that has just been dropped on Twitter by Andy Slater. We'll find out if there is truth to that, but I'm seeing that he is a credible source. We might have some big news there as well. That would hurt my bags quite a bit as somebody who's drafted a lot of Dylan Sampson and Jerome Ford. Potentially could hurt my bags quite a bit. But maybe we don't see suspension. Who knows what the ramifications are there, but we just got that prior to this stream starting. All right, I'm going to run a little ad here. It's going to be 1 minute telling you about the DraftKings Draft One Get One promo. After that, we're going to get into a draft. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's 2 chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. So yeah, personally, not loving the news. I have been fading Quinshon Judkins super hard for the past month or so and really getting a ton of Dylan Sampson and Jerome Ford. Now, I don't think it's necessarily a death knell to the values of Sampson and Ford. It is August 14th, and Quinshon Judkins has not been practicing with the team, has not signed with the team. He's still delayed quite a bit, but I've been kind of working under the assumption he's going to face some sort of legal challenges, and this is going to carry on longer. My guess is this moves up the timeline quite a bit, and the Browns are going to sign him pretty soon. And that's just he's gonna practice before the season starts. Maybe he's already available week 1. Who knows? We don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more analysis on how this all breaks down. But for somebody who has been fading Judkins and instead taking Sampson and Ford, this is not ideal. Good to see you all. Pepperstone says Fimst. Yes, Fimst. Muskie, the first one to spell first correctly. What's up, Vic? What's up, Fantasy Football Garage? I don't think I'm taking him at pick 100 right now. Because he's been, going in I've got him at 176. I've seen him go as late as like 200. I still think there's some risk there. He still might face a suspension from the NFL anyway. It's just it moves up the timeline for him a bit. So yeah, 100 is still too rich for me. He is still on the Browns, and I did draft him in the top 100 previously. But for me, it's still like maybe targeting him at like 130, 140 right now is fine. But still not like a huge target for me unless he is going that late. Still is indeed huge. Yes, I've been drafted a ton of Ford and Sampson. So how we doing? Not great as of 10 minutes ago getting that news. It is still the Browns. It's going to crush me from the standpoint of I've been drafting Dylan Sampson and Jerome Ford. So, if those guys are not even the first and second string running backs on the Browns, then it is going to hurt me quite a bit. I did see JJ McCarthy looking great as expected. And yes, also looking forward to seeing him in person. Fantasy Guru Drew just got us some tickets to the Vikings game against the Eagles. I'm pretty excited about that. Can't wait to see my guys in person and also my friends. Yep, I had been drafting a fair amount of Judkins prior to all the legal stuff. So I've got some Judkins, but I like the worst prices. All right. I did not make the paintings behind me. My wife made those paintings at a drink wine and make paintings event, like before I knew her. All right, we're going to get into, I want to do a 555 kind of, I saw multiple streams today doing the 555. I do have the itch, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do a $20 milli, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So if you want to join, get into this one. I'll tell you why right now. Because next week is DraftKings Best Ball Week, and I imagine there are going to be some promos. I only have probably 2 555s to draft. Like I'm not maxing the thing out or anything like that. I'll probably draft a couple of them. I just want to see if there are promos. So because I only have a couple, I'm going to save them for when I might, get some tickets out of it or something. She is very talented. Drew he's dumb as bricks, but apparently he knows how to get tickets. So he has that one thing going for him. We fill in this thing. I'm just going to leave it on the screen until it tells me it's full. I think this is actually the only draft I'm going to do on this stream. It's a rare one for me where I'm only doing one because I'm flying to Boston tomorrow for the DraftKings MLB Live Final. Shady invited me as one of his guests. So excited to be going to Boston tomorrow. But I made a to-do list for myself for today, and it is really, really long. So I need to keep this to probably just one draft today. But I'll be streaming all of next week. So Monday night, I'll get back in time to stream on Monday night with Mythology. We'll be doing a DraftKings draft or 2 or 3. And then every day of the week, I will be streaming DraftKings draft next week. This one is not filling. What is going on here? Or am I not in it? What? Apparently I was not in. So apologies if I misled some of you. I thought I was in. Oh, yeah. Drew's right. Shoot. My bad. Well, I don't know what I did. Maybe just fair. This is fair. Yeah, and I've seen one person say that he is a credible source. I've never heard of this Slater guy before, but I did see somebody say that he is a credible source. 32 Beat Writers reposted it. Oh, Jordan Schultz posted it also. Jordan Schultz says this clears the way for him to return to the team, and I'm told that should likely happen in the near future. You got the 1.2. The pick is Jamar Chase if he's there. He probably won't be though. So if you don't get Jamar Chase, I think I'm fine going CeeDee Lamb there. Probably most often I'll go Bijan Robinson. Be my most common pick there. I got the 11 hole. Fantasy Guru Drew got the 7 hole, which is one of the better spots on the board, I think. Anybody else in here? I still think the 1.6 is the dream. 1.7 not bad though. Dion says my first BBM has Judkins, Blue, Garendo, Braylon, and writes it's been a good news week. Yeah, it's looking good for you. Yeah, I did rug the audience. Apologies. Can also go. Apparently, a lot of people are saying Jahmyr Gibbs the 101 this year. So if you get him at the 102, that's a fine pick. Honestly, I think anybody in those top 6 is fine. Gibbs, Bijan, Saquon, Lamb, Jefferson, Barkley. Did I miss one? Who did I miss? I think I said them all. What are we doing with Rashee Rice with this news? I do think I saw Jacob Sanderson tweeted out he becomes an eliminator aspect, and I agree with that. I think he's suddenly in a contest that is like the front weighted production is more important. Depending on CMC. No, come on, CMC not in the top 6. It's defensible. It is defensible. I hear what you're saying, but you can get him at 1.7 most of the time. All right, you took Bajan. That's a good pick there. Yeah, if Rice gets an Addison suspension, 3 games, I think most of us have been assuming 4 to 6, which I think is more likely. I've been kind of like mentally, I've just assumed he's getting 6 games. I mean, it all depends on where he goes. Mr. Nick said, I don't even know if he's an Olympic because you're still going to lose him for part of the season. Yeah, like I'd rather lose him later. Although you're also going to be missing him like during the bye weeks, which is a pretty tough time to be missing him. So yeah, depends on where he goes. What do I want to do here? I'm going to go Puka. I have sort of an idea of what I want to do for this draft. Bowers goes. Okay. I am not avoiding Genty because of the bad practice, but I'm not going to go Genty here. I'm going to go Drake London. Just want to be clear. I'm not like I don't suddenly think he's a fade because he had like 3 bad runs. Yeah, Ben, that's don't hate that. Addison and Rice, depending on where they go, obviously. Is that true? James says Christian McCaffrey has not scored a regular season touchdown since October 29th, 2023. I have in fact heard the good word about our Lord and Savior, JJ McCarthy. Sounds like a pretty fire practice today. Faders repent. I think I'm still at about 25% JJ McCarthy. Gonna stick right around there, I think. I'm still like, I'm never gonna take him, or I shouldn't say never. I'm rarely gonna take him, maybe never, out of all my drafts when I don't have one of Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. Like, I'm not trying to take a naked JJ McCarthy, but I do go out of my way to make sure I get one of those guys on most teams so that I have the opportunity to take JJ McCarthy. I shouldn't say most, 25% of my teams, a lot of my teams. I think he might run a little bit. I'm sort of concerned. Like the biggest concern is that it just might be a super run heavy offense, but I don't think there's any guarantee. I think he looks really good. Maybe they just decide, passing scores more points. Let's pass the ball with our really good quarterback, with our really good pass catchers. My hedge is, of course, just to take other Minnesota Vikings with Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, if I don't take JJ. I'm calling it. The Vikings are going to win the NFC North this year. Go AZ cards, nothing would make me happier than this year's Tyreek Hill being last year's CMC, where all the signs are negative. Everybody's still clicking him. I'm really not taking a ton of Tyreek Hill. He's not a full fade for me. There was a little while I like did a podcast. I think it was on the Fantasy Sanctuary, where I was asked for like some of my hottest takes, and one of them was that Tyreek Hill is just a huge fade. And then like literally the next day, or within the next couple of days, they traded. Maybe the next week, maybe I'm exaggerating, but they traded Johnny Smith. That's obviously great for Tyreek Hill. They traded away Jalen. Did they have Jalen Ramsey? I think it was Jalen Ramsey. So the defense got a lot worse. And it was just like all these things that made him look better. But I have a tough time clicking Tyreek Hill. That's enough that I'm like, I'll click him some, but I hated that run out because he was a pretty easy fade for me while John was there and the defense was not going to be trash. I get most of my Dolphins exposure through HN. Come on, JJ is going to crush the Bears defense. Learn ball, buddy. All right, JSN goes. I'm not super in on Garrett Wilson. This one, Debro, if you're watching, please look away. You don't want to see this. I don't want you to see this. All right. I wanted George Kittle there. I decided to go Worthy first because the person on the end took Bowers. Nice little fall on Kittle. I can now announce what I wanted to do with this draft, which is want to go with a good old-fashioned zero RB draft. Maybe I won't go all the way, like as deep zero RB as I would have gone last year, but starting with 3 receivers and a tight end, something I haven't done nearly as much recently. And early in drafting season, that was one of my bigger opinions. One of my bigger stands was that zero RB probably going to be more powerful this year. All of the aging backs did great last year, other than CMC. For the most part, though, they all stayed healthy. They all crushed. And I feel like we've had a major overreaction to what happened last year. And now this year, nobody's doing, or very few teams are doing zero RB. And it still has, like, the thesis is still there of, the running backs that you draft late have the higher potential to be absolute smashes. You don't get as many of those from wide receivers typically. And now it's a year where all of the running backs that stayed healthy last year, like, they have a lot more mileage on them at this point than they did last year. They're more likely to get hurt. And we had this amazing running back draft class. Like, everything is setting up for an awesome zero RB year. And I think that we all are chicken shit and we're not doing it anymore. I shouldn't say we all. There are people who are still doing it. I still do it some, but it's been something that I've really gone away from this year. And for the most part, I've just started doing more hero RB, but I still think zero RB is probably something that we are underutilizing right now. Yeah. Sorry to blow up your spot. With that said, those of us doing it, it is going to be probably even harder to advance with zero RB because teams are maybe not. I mean, even last year, all the good running backs were being drafted. It's not like they weren't getting drafted by somebody. But I also think part of I had been saying for a while, like, I want to do it, but also we don't really know much about which running backs are going to be like the RB2. So it's just like there's a lot of open competitions for RB2, and that's actually still the case. Like I'm still not super confident in like who's the Rams RB2. Is Taj Brooks definitely the Cincinnati RB2? Does Rashard Smith even make the roster? Like all those rookie running backs that we've been drafting late, it's been pretty tough to figure out the late running backs. I think we're going to get more clarity on that though over the next couple of weeks. So I think this is the time to really start hammering the zero RB as we get more clarity on those situations. Where'd you have to take Trevion in your draft? He just went at 40 in this one. Kind of a wide band right now, seems like. Oh no, go easy, Charles. You're a protect the integrity guy. I mean, Hurts is still probably a good value, 10 picks after ADP, even if you already have Josh Allen. I mean, yeah, you know that I love Jordan Mason. Or if you watch my streams enough, then you know that I love Jordan Mason. Definitely a zero RB target for me. Although he's moved up now. For a while, you could get him at like pick 105. Now it's like people are taking at pick 80 sometimes. But even I'm talking about zero RB right now, and then I'm seeing these running backs available to me, and I'm like, ooh, Alvin Kamara. I mean, RJ Harvey was a real target for me there. I'm tempted. I am tempted. I'm not going to lie about it. All right, I'm going to go Travis Hunter here. Sticking to it. Would not have been mad at Travis Hunter there. I've not gotten enough Ricky Pearsall. I just saw Emeka Egbuka go off the board, and that's a reminder. Those are the two guys that I'm like, because I get a ton of Juwan Jennings. I usually am willing to wait on it, but I do not get nearly enough Ricky Pearsall. So I'm going to do it in this one. Double up on my Niners. All right, I think now I have executed an old-fashioned zero RB draft. I don't have a quarterback yet. I don't know if you technically like your, if you look at the Tom Stratton strategy, am I supposed to have a quarterback by now too? I'm not sure. But what I consider zero RB is just not taking a running back in the first like 6 rounds. Billy got him at 45. That's good spot to target. Henderson at 37. You are a believer. That is the earliest that I've seen him, maybe. Yeah, that is true. You gotta spend the capital. You're never gonna get him. He does not fall. I like this. Every Jordan Mason carry will invigorate and refresh the quads of Aaron Jones. I've actually taken them together at times. Dowdle, another good zero RB target. Did Rice get picked already? Let's see. Pick 54. Fantasy Guru Drew being very brave and going 0 TE. 2 wide receivers, 3 running backs, 1 quarterback, 0 tight ends. Did he really get Ashton Genty at pick 18? I mean, come on, that's insane. This is I'm jealous. I'm jealous of Drew's team. I'm willing to admit it that occasionally I can be jealous of Drew's teams. We did one last week where he had the 106 and just kept getting all the falling values. This is another one where this is kind of the dream for me. Get Justin Jefferson at 7. That's insane. Ashton Genty at 18. What is going on here? Josh Allen at 31. Breece Hall at 42. Just all of the fallers. I mean, Zay Flowers 55. James Conner. This is an awesome start. Does not take a ton of brain power. These are the teams that Drew can luck into. Just don't need to know anything. You just see the value. You smash the value. Am I supposed to be nice to Drew for a day since he acquired Vikings tickets for us? I said his team is good. I guess that's something. Let's see. Round 2 is starting to be dominated by running backs. That's true. Favorite wide receivers to target when you go robust RB. I mean, there's a lot. Romeo Dobbs, certainly one of them. Wan'Dale Robinson for me is a big target, pretty late. Pop Douglas, although he's moving up, still available pretty late. I still like Jalen Noel. Christian Kirk, the slot demon, pretty good where he goes. Do I want another receiver here? He goes. All right. I could go Mahomes. I guess this is a little bit past ADP for Mahomes. So yeah, I'll do it. I'm not like targeting Mahomes very heavily right now. Baker goes. Pollard at 71 and Pacheco at 74 in this one. Those are two of my bigger 0 RB targets, but I guess they don't fall quite this late. So, this is a tough range because I don't think I'm going to get a running back I really want at 107. Ooh, Jordan, that's painful. I mean, he knew I wanted him, and he was like, Neil, I'm not going to let you have Jordan Mason. Yeah, it's gross. This is a gross range for doing 0 RB. I'm actually going to pull up ETN here. I really wanted Jordan Mason. Am I going to do this? No, because he's week 8 bye. I think Jalen Warren's fine there. Yeah, you do need some things to fall right here. That round did not fall right to me. And I'm going to shoot myself in the foot by talking about giving myself 0 chance of getting Travis Etienne. The reason I thought about pulling him up there is he was written up in the FF&60 newsletter, and I wonder if that's a market mover at this point. I think a lot of people read it. And he was already somebody that like the sidekick will recommend him pretty frequently. He's already been moving up, but then I wonder if the ETR guys are talking about him. I assume that Herzig, who's talking about on the newsletter, he's also talking about it on the stream he did today with Adam Levitan, doing a 555. So I imagine ETN getting steam right now. Couldn't get myself to do it there just yet. I probably could have. I kind of broke away because of that week 8 bye, and because now it's still like, because I'm doing 0 RB, I still think I should be targeting maybe Tootin or Bigsby later. I don't know. Give myself more outs for some of the later, if I'm gonna concern myself with bye weeks, which I'm trying not to overemphasize at this point, but Still something you need to pay attention to. So I broke the tie in favor of Jalen Warren there. I cannot wait for the Dak Pickens deep ball. This is a $20 Millie Maker on DraftKings. James, you think he's going back to the 7th round? I'd be kind of surprised if he does. I think 140 is a good price on Judkins right now. Like that's, I think he'll move up to 9th or 10th round, I guess. If he does, if they, signs with the team, there is still ambiguity there. There is still the potential that he gets suspended. He's still not with the team. Like that's not great. There's still a lot of negatives here. But like hearing that he's going to sign with the team soon, he's going to be with the team for at least a few weeks before the season starts. That is, it's kind of like the longer this goes, the higher the likelihood of a true zero. I'm liking Danny's team. He also went 0 RB, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill, Cortland Sutton, George Pickens, Tony Pollard, Isaiah Pacheco, Dak Prescott, Travis Etienne. It's a strong start right there. Joe Burrow went at 45 here before the Bengals drafters could get him. JT says, Pete doesn't move the market, bro. You guys think you're important. You're not. You're just another drafter like the rest of us losers. I don't know when I said I think I move the market. But ETR, the newsletter gets read widely. And that was like his special little segment was on Travis Etienne. And ETR does move the market for sure. And also Pete definitely does move the market too. Like that's just incorrect to say Pete doesn't move the market. Travis Etienne was going pick 120 in the preseason. Pete talked about him and he shot up the board. I think I've got enough wide receivers that I don't need to do Michael Pittman. I think Dobbins a pretty strong 0 RB target. Judkins does kind of remove 2 of my favorite 0 RB targets. It's kind of a bummer. All right, let's do naked Drake May. If it will let me click on him. Okay, we got him. Also, is it not possible these charges get brought up weeks/months from now? It's not like he was tried and found not guilty. Statute of limitations could keep this hanging over his head for it is possible, but they've said that the prosecutors are dropping the charges. So I wouldn't expect them to, decide to prosecute again unless new information comes out. They have pictures of the victim. That's one of the reasons that I've been pretty bearish on Judkins all along is the victims cooperating. They have pictures of the victim's injuries, all of that. It's man, it might be pretty bad. The fact that they're not pursuing charges now is they have all that and they're still not pursuing charges. That's pretty bullish for Judkins. Yeah, ETR definitely moves the market. JT, I promise you, Liam is not telling you to draft the Bills because he wants to draft other players. He's telling you exactly what he thinks. And Pete definitely, Pete, nobody that I know, I don't think anybody that I know is giving opinions that they don't believe. Like, I don't think that Liam's doing that. I don't think Pete's doing that. I don't think any of the big streamers are like giving you bad advice on purpose. You can think their advice is wrong. That's totally valid. We give a lot of bad advice, myself included. I give a ton of bad advice, but I don't think anybody's intentionally giving bad advice. I think it's just there's a lot you don't know in fantasy football. Well, like Liam is telling you, the Bills are awesome. Dalton Kincaid is awesome. James Cook is going to move up because he believes that, and he's drafting him. I promise. Judkins goes at 104 in this one. See, I've been drafting so much Dylan Sampson, and now this is a 0 RB team. Feels a little rough at 131 right now. I'm not gonna lie, that feels tough to do right now. I still think that, to be clear, I still think there's a possibility that Judkins misses like the first 6 games of the year. Doesn't need to be legal. The NFL can still suspend him potentially. It can be a ramp up period just because he has not been practicing with the team. It's still not like there is a guaranteed 0 for Dylan Sampson, and it's not guaranteed that Judkins becomes awesome now. But part of the upside for Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, is Judkins might miss the entire season. He's not even with the team, and now that's probably not happening. All right, I think I want Ramondre Stevenson here. In fact, I know so. All right. Really wanted Jaden Blue there. This guy at the turn. He's reading my mind, and I don't like it. Mahomes. Could go Dalton Kincaid here. So let me just double check the running backs. I'll queue them up. Yeah. Kincaid seems fine. Wilkie said Judkins' pathway to success in 2026. I mean, hopefully it's not till then, for my sake. Appreciate that. Go AZ Cards. I mean, you can come in. I don't care. Like, just telling you, I don't think anybody's giving bad advice on purpose. Yeah, I agree with this. Liam also says you need to go with the flow of the draft, which is, you could argue that I'm not doing that in this draft because I'm going out of my way to do 0 RB. I still think there are a lot of ways to attack drafts. I think there's a lot of talent early on, and you can chase the running backs there or leave them for later. Oh no, Fantasy Guru Drew. Look at this. Look at this. He had this beautiful start to the draft. Justin Jefferson, Ashton Jinty, Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, James Conner. Could not get better than that start to the draft, in my opinion. And now he's on auto pick. And he goes Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson, Joe Mixon, unstacked Jared Goff, Tucker Kraft, and Trey Harris ahead of ADP. I mean, this is the saddest story I've ever seen. Was gifted that beautiful start, and then he goes on auto draft. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. What's up, Paid? Yeah, I don't think you need to be reaching for Judkins. If Godwin goes on the pup, would McMillan be a good click? I think McMillan is a good click. Like, I think Godwin likely to miss some time and just does have multiple paths to playing time. I say this, I'm not getting a ton of Jalen McMillan. I haven't been like targeting him heavily, but I think he goes what, like 164 or something like that. I think he's a pretty strong pick there. I think he's another one of those late wide receivers that has just a lot of paths to being a starting receiver. I don't think he's like a slam dunk because he was like fine but not amazing last year. But yeah, I think he is a strong enough click. Egbuka, people are loving Egbuka right now. He's moving up quickly. What's up, Bindles? Yeah, my guess is that he will settle into like the 100 to 110 range. Somewhere 100 to 120 at least, like in that range. I don't think he's going to get back above 100. I could be totally wrong, though. Oh, yeah, the Ricky person. That might be sadder than Drew's draft here. Oh, you killing me. Dolphin Slayer takes my guy Bashal Tootin. That was the obvious target for me there. But I do have two players stacked up with my quarterback here that I can do instead. I was hoping Braylon Allen would fall. I've actually seen Braylon Allen fall to this range, like not regularly, but like occasionally recently. I still think he's a good pick around here. A great pick around here. A strong 0 RB target. Yuck. All right, we'll go Algier here. So I'm up to 2-4-6-2. Puka Nacua, Drake London, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle, Travis Hunter, Ricky Pearsall, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Warren, J.K. Dobbins, Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Williams, and Tyler Algier is the team so far. Keep it on the draft board here. Cedric Tillman, another pretty strong late target. Josh Palmer, I didn't say him. I mean, you can see, just look at the names right now. I think this is a pretty decent range of like high floor. I don't think particularly high ceiling, but could surprise us, I think, in this range. I think it's a good range of wide receiver, which is also part of the reason I am doing less zero RB. Fortunate in this draft, but a lot of time doing less because I do kind of like the receivers in this range. Yeah, Igbuka was pretty hyped up pre-draft, and then he landed in kind of an ambiguous spot in Tampa Bay, where he's the wide receiver 3 there. So I think that we kind of got him at a discount there, and now I think people are kind of, because of the Godwin stuff, I think people are just thinking more about like, it's got a lot of outs to being the wide receiver 2 at the very least there, and he could just be talented enough to win out both aging with Godwin and Evans. So yeah, I think Igbuka, I think it makes sense the way he's run up the board. Yeah, you're not the only person that I have heard really a big fan of Ray McLeod. I've not drafted a ton. Yep, I have gone over the news on Judkins, Al Boogie. It's very bullish for Judkins, obviously. All the news suggests he's going to be with the team soon. I think, the later we've gotten here, the more I've thought this could really be a 0, and I've been pretty scared to click him. Now I think a 0 pretty unlikely, but he is. I still think it could be a little while before we see him. He could still face a suspension from the NFL, even if no legal trouble. It's less likely now. But I think that is still within the range of outcomes. That he misses the first 6 games of the season, I think, is still well within the range of outcomes. But I think the fact that he's going to be with the team soon means that when he does come back, he's just more likely to be ready to go. And if the other running backs are not crushing, he's likely to take on a bigger role. So yeah, this is hugely bullish for Judkins, and hugely bearish for Ford and Sampson. But it's not like, if you've drafted Sampson at pick 130, like I have a ton, I'm not like, oh, those are zeros. Like, I think there's still a good chance that Judkins misses sometime. I think Sampson's going to work in. I think Ford's going to work in. But yeah, it's very bullish for Judkins. I think he moves up to my guess final ADP on DraftKings 108. 108 on Judkins is my guess where he lands, where he settles into. Dowdle would made a lot of sense on this team. Dowdle goes. I might be okay with just 2 quarterbacks. I've gotten Darnold. I don't understand the Darnold slip. Can anybody explain that to me? I think Woody Marks makes sense on this team. I've been getting Darnold. I got him in the 18th round today. Did I miss like an injury or something? All right. Do I want Will Shipley? I do kind of like. I think Will Shipley is just a fair price here. This doesn't feel like the right spot for Ja'Cory Krosky. It actually, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt would also make sense just fine on this team because he might just have a big role on the team. I have a lot of JCM, but it's mostly on teams where I have some early running back help. Yeah, I don't know, because we know that Will Shipley is not going to be much in the beginning part of the year. So I'm debating like whether JCM actually could have made sense on this team because he has more potential to have an early season role than Will Shipley does, I think. But I don't know. I think both are strong picks around here. Go Easy Card says, punted wide receiver, did I land the play in Pickens, Pearsall, Coleman, Keenan Allen, Pop Douglas, McMillan, Palmer, Robinson. Is that DeMarcus Robinson? Which or do you mean, is it, I don't know who you mean there. But yeah, that seems like a pretty strong wide receiver room for punting it. Yeah, tell us the names, JT. Go Easy Card says, some of my best picks are gut feelings. There was a time a few years ago, and I don't remember which Patriots running back it was, but it was like, oh God, I can't remember the names now. Rex Chapman, I think, right? Was he the Patriots running back? Maybe 5 years ago, before I had won the Millie or anything. At like 1 a.m. as I'm like drifting asleep, I kind of had this vision. There was I want to say it's not James Young, but their pass catching running back at the time was like Rex Burkhead. It is Rex Burkhead is who I mean. The pass catching running back on the Patriots, like there was, I think the starter was out, and it was kind of ambiguous who was going to be the running back you want, and everybody was drafting the pass catching running back, and he was the guy that was just like getting James White, who was getting tons of steam. And I had this vision at like, as I'm like drifting off of sleep, maybe it's Rex Burkhead. And there was a part of me that was like, I actually feel pretty strongly about this. Like everybody's like leaning towards this running back on the Patriots. It was like a cake matchup. Everything was like lining up. And I had this vision that was like, should I just jam in Rex Burkhead? Was he just a great pick? Like so much leverage on the field. And I ended up with like maybe 14% on DraftKings, and I did end up with like 40% on FanDuel. I did not end up going locking him in, but he had like 2 or 3 touchdowns, like absolutely smashed fantasy football that day. And I had regrets that I did not, because I was like, there was a time that I was like, should I just play 100%? Like I feel like this is the best leverage spot you can possibly hope for. And it was one of those that it was like I was like half dreaming, like just this seems like the spot, just like a vision. All right, JT says his guys are in no particular order: Judkins, Henderson, Ja'Cory, Jordan James, Khalil Shakir, CJ Stroud. All right, those are some names. Yes, Judkins, Dipperino, Slurpers, heavily rewarded. If only I had listened just a little bit more to the sidekick. I did listen some. Oh, I'm not. I thought I was on the clock. All right, we'll go Miles Sanders here. This is a Miles Sanders-ass team. We're up to 2, 7, 6, 2. Okay. Psychic thinks it's time for a tight end. Let me just see if there are any other running backs that speak to me. Yeah, so there's more than one that are speaking to me, so I'm gonna push it because I don't know which one to pick. So I will go. Oh, now it is telling me to take a running back here. Now I'm going to go Mason Taylor. I'm going to go lean in on the Mason Taylor upside and push the running backs. Yeah, I think he did have like 3 touchdowns that game. It was insane. Oh, was it Danny Woodhead? That could have been that day too. I did not win a milli with it. I did not lean into it quite enough. That's funny. It all comes down to dreams. Yeah, I mean, I think we all feel this way right now. It was just, it felt like a potential zero. I literally did a stream yesterday where the person I was streaming with said he thought 75% chance Judkins is a 0 this year. And that was the heaviest I've ever heard. But I was like, I don't think he was necessarily wrong. And now obviously it was. Like now we get this, everything being dropped. Brewers. You think I care about the Brewers? Come on. Twins and Cubs here. Twins and Cubs. Honestly, I don't watch that much baseball. Oh, Wan'Dale Robinson. Yeah, that's a good pick. It is Robinson though, just so you know, because we've left off the N twice now. So I just want to make sure you know. Wan'Dale Robinson, not Robinson. One time I chalk it up to a typo. 2 times I think. You just don't know his name. Oh, you go 2-4-11-2. That's a lot. Added Josh Reynolds, Jalen Noel, and Troy Franklin. I mean, it's a strong enough wide receiver room. I'd have to see the rest of the team. Now I'm curious about that. What's on the docket? We're going to a Red Sox game. That's the only like big event. We're going to, I think Saturday we're going to the game. Otherwise, just a lot of hanging out. Going to bars. They'll feed us, give us some drink. Everyone will be merry. On Sunday is when the actual live final is. We'll congregate somewhere and watch baseball all day. Cubs is because I know Justin Steele, because I'm friends with a Cubs pitcher. I've become friends or I've become a fan of the Cubs. I mean, actually, they were my NL team as a child for no real reason other than I just declared that Ryan Sandberg was my favorite player, and the Cubs were my NL team when I was, 9 or whatever. Actually, I think one of my friends as a child was a Cubs fan, and his dad was a Cubs fan. They kind of got me to like the Cubs a little bit, but I didn't actually care. It was more like when I opened baseball card packs, it was like, ooh, I got a Ryan Sandberg. He's my favorite Cub. All right, I've got 2 picks left. 2, 7, 6, 3. Man. Sakic wants me to take another wide receiver. I guess Kyle Williams was my 6, so I did not finish particularly strong. I'm going to go Ollie Gordon. And then I'll decide if I want one of those wide receivers. You've been to Fenway 30 times. I mean, I guess the avatar gives it away. But you live in Texas. That's tough. Yeah, R.I.P. Ryan Sandberg. All right, I guess I'll go Coker. He's going to get steamed up, right? Like, he's going to go ahead of this, I would imagine. Apparently, I should not keep my sidekick here because it's confusing the page. All right, that's the final team. Finish up with Patrick Mahomes. Actually, I'll let you watch the draft board first. Make fun of Drew's team, because man, did he screw this up. He did. Looks like he lucked into Tesla. So he actually did end up stacking up his Goff. And he got Sanders Tillman. So did he turn off the plane? No, it's still on. Interesting. Did you like the Metrodome, Neil? Yeah, I thought it was fine. A lot of memories there. I actually lived like directly across over the highway from the Metrodome when I was in law school, and that's when the roof collapsed. So I got to like look out my window. It was like, oh, the roof has collapsed there. It was kind of a wild time. All right, the final Vic's final team: Josh Allen, Bijan, Pollard, Pickens, Ridley, Golden, Kittle, Coleman, Higgins, Kirk, Cam Ward, Braylon Allen, Tootin, Algier, Okonkwo, Keaton Mitchell, De'Ami Brown, Jalen Royals, Adonai Mitchell, Dawson Knox. So it's okay. Dawson Knox is your third tight end. I think that's fine. I think that seems, you went hero RB with Bijan. I do like Pollard. I think he's a pretty strong pick. So you went Bijan, who was your second round pick? Wait, Bijan. What was the order of these picks? Josh Allen in the third, I would assume. Kittle in the fourth. I'm missing a second round pick here, right? Josh Allen in the second. Okay. I don't know. That's I guess you go at the 2.11 you went Josh Allen. I guess it's not the end of the world. And then Kittle. So you just like flip the board with Allen and Kittle, kind of. I guess that's not even really flipping the board. But you were, I think, giving up some ADP value early on there, it sounds like. Assuming it was Allen and Kittle. Which it'll be different. You did flip the board, which is kind of interesting. All right, so my final team, actually, let's see if I can go here. My final team: Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Warren, J.K. Dobbins, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle, Travis Hunter, Ricky Pearsall, Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Williams, Tyler Rozier, Woody Marks, Will Shipley, Miles Sanders, Mason Taylor, Ollie Gordon, and Jaden Coker. I'm going to give this team a C. This is a below average team. I was trying to get a little bit unique, going 0 RB here. I don't love the way the team ended up. Didn't get a ton of like the fallers that I wanted. I did get kind of a late Travis Hunter. I don't know. It could play, but it's not a particularly good team in my opinion. It's a 2.873, a little bit unique. But yeah, not my favorite team, not my best work. Let's look at Drew's team, because again, I thought his start was just a gift. And then he went on autopilot. Drew ends up with Josh Allen, Ashton Genty, Breece Hall, Justin Jefferson, Zay Flowers, Trey Harris, Tucker Kraft, James Conner, Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson, Joe Mixon, Jared Goff, Adam Thielen, Cedric Tillman, Jonnu Smith, Mike Gesicki, Pat Bryant, Tyler Lockett, Shedeur Sanders, and Isaac TeSlaa. Oh, so he has 3 quarterbacks. So he went Goff, added TeSlaa to his Goff stack. He added Shedeur with Tillman, and he has Josh Allen. Did he stack up Josh Allen? Just a naked Josh Allen, looks like. Final team is a 3.683, so standard build. Looks like he, went on autopilot, but then maybe did add some picks to his queue as he was going. I don't know what happened exactly. Look for a little while like he was maybe just completely gone and dropping the baby. I don't think he completely dropped the baby. I think he came back and made some picks and turned it into something that was okay. But it sort of felt to me like in the middle rounds he was dropping the baby and kind of turned into a fine team when it could have, for a little while, it was looking like it could be a dream team, in my opinion. Maybe I'll make some slow draft picks while we're still here, because I need to do those anyway. I did. I won the Millie Maker 2021 2020, 2021, maybe 2021. I forget exactly. I think it was 2020. Won the Millie Maker. In 2021, I split the Showdown Millie Makers twice. One of them 4 ways for about $300,000. That was my second biggest win. Then the other one, I think I split like 12 or 13 ways for a little over 100,000. And I think those are my three biggest wins. Were all in Millie Makers. The one solo on a Sunday regular contest, and then a couple splits on the Millies. Thank you. Have you done any flocks? I have not done any flocks. Seems like that's one that, from what I've heard, they tend to be a little bit softer, or they draft a little bit more, a little bit different over there. I've never actually watched the flock stream, so I have no personal opinion about whether they give good advice. I know people make fun of them, but sometimes people make fun of just what's different. So I don't know. Why not draft better players? That's an interesting idea. I might try that. Maybe I'll try that in my next draft. That'll be my new strategy. All right, I'm going to do some slows while we're on here. Make some slow draft picks. See if I can get any of those Judkins fall-in prices. No Judkins available here. This one's a 3-4-5-3. Miles Sanders the pick. I'm not getting any of the great Judkins value here. Very sad. Very sad. You hope to just click on and see top of the queue, top of your list is Judkins. Not so lucky here. Kate Otten. Well, what do I have? 2, 5, 6, 1. Kate Otten kind of boring to me. Running backs, Breece Hall, RJ Harvey. Kind of want to do a running back here. Ramondre Stevenson, Braylon Allen, Ray Davis. Kind of want like a Woody Marks maybe, or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Oh, I've got the Stroud stack too. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to do Woody Marks. 19th round here. I'll come back. I see people are asking questions. I'll come back in a minute. Slayton falling a little bit. This one's got Rashee Rice on it. It is sort of hard with Rashee Rice to not know when that suspension is going to be. I assume there's going to be a suspension, but I don't know exactly when it will happen. My guess would be, starting week 5, but just making sure Judkins is not here and I'm missing him. Okay, he went at 124 in this draft to probably an auto drafter. Judkins and then Spears and then Brown, all the guys that were, and Ayuk. This is just everybody that had the Q tag. So I think this drafter probably has been on auto draft for a minute there. Dylan Sampson, the suggestion at 151. He's going to keep falling. So I am going to IKB onto Braylon Allen instead, because I think they're going to move different directions. I'll be able to get Dylan Sampson cheaper elsewhere. All right, I'm going to do my underdog slows as well. But I'll take a look at questions. Anything first? Uh-oh, is underdog down? Mr. Nick says underdog seems to be down, so maybe I won't be able to. Oh man, you guys are talking to me now. Yeah, let me actually All right, let me see if I can log in without giving away my info here. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up a different window. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, underdog does appear to be down. So I might not be able to make those picks, but I'll answer any other questions first. How are the drafts going? Mostly going okay. Not happy with the way the Browns news is shaking out right now. But yeah, it's draft's going okay. Did not love my latest on here, but in general, happy with how I'm drafting. On main slate, do you think people can keep up with the optimizers building by hand? I do. I think you can still build good teams. If you know what you're doing, if you know how to correlate your teams, if you have some sense of the projection, I think you can still keep up. If you're building a ton of teams, I would not do 150 teams by hand. But I think you should be able to just make as good a teams. The optimizers are really for bulk building. If you're going to build 150 teams, it just takes so much time to build 150 teams and to keep straight, how much do you have of each player? Are your teams different enough from each other? All that kind of stuff is easier to do with an optimizer. But if you're just doing 1 to 5 teams, you can keep up just as easily, I think, with hand building. Maybe not with a sim tool. So that's a different thing. You're probably building better lineups with sims for the contest you're in than you are hand building. But definitely, I'd say you're better than an optimizer if you're hand building. Like anything, 10 or fewer lineups. I honestly, if I were doing just 20 lineups on a Sunday and I wasn't doing content, I would probably do them by hand. But yeah, I think definitely you can keep up if you know what you're doing. I do actually have a lot of Packers on my teams. As much as I make fun of the Packers, I think they've got some fantasy goodness there. I think Matthew Golden, a pretty strong pick. Jaden Reed falls enough that I'll take him. I actually think Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, Romeo Dobbs is one of my favorite back stacks. I think they're all pretty strong values. I'll do some Marshawn Lloyd now that he's healthy again. Did I spend all the money? Some of it is, I paid off $200,000 in law school student loans right away. So that was nice. I did pay Uncle Sam $400,000 of the, this is just from the Millie year. I did lose a lot of the money on NFTs. I was super dumb with how I spent my money. It was a weird time because COVID was going on. Money didn't feel real to me because I was winning so much at DFS from 2019 to 2021 in particular was my hottest period. Just so money didn't really feel real. And then NFTs were just going crazy. And I was I don't want to miss this. I'm finally doing really well at DFS. I don't want to miss out on this big bull run on NFTs. Got in a little bit over my head. And then the tax man came for DFS and NFTs from 2021. I crushed both in 2021. The tax ban came with a really big bill at a time when I was on a downswing in DFS and all my NFTs were crashing. So that was kind of tough timing for me there. But no, I did not spend or lose all the money. Have a lot in investments and whatnot. But yeah, it was lost a lot of it, honestly. No, I think you can win without a lineup builder. I think you're better off hand building than using an optimizer if you're doing 5 to 10 lineups. But honestly, DFS is just really hard right now. That's the truth. Doesn't matter what you're using. Yeah, I need to get in my final limbs. It's gonna finish by tomorrow, I think. Right now, I'm targeting Judkins anywhere after 120. I think he's a target. I think before that, he's draftable after 100, a target after 120 for me. I actually don't know if the draft caddy works on drafters. The sidekick that I'm using here does not, as far as I know, work on drafters. Did not realize Braylon Allen is up to the 130s. That's kind of nuts. Seems, it's a split backfield. That's fair. UD login is in fact broken. Confirmed. Yeah, it might have been. Judkins broke the internet. Uh-oh, JT thinks it's all over after this year. It'll still be fun. We can still chase the dream. Hell yeah. Crazy Ivan got first and third in Pete's Deposit Kingdom contest. Hand building. Love to see it. Like I lost over 100K on Top Shot alone. Yeah, I'm going all in on Sugar Daddy season. Unfortunately, Crutches, unfortunately for you, it's my year. This is my year. Okay, our Airborne got into an eliminator. Good. Super Bowl prediction. I was asked this on another stream and I gave it, and I don't want to give a different answer than I gave last time. I think I gave Ravens Eagles. Nothing would make me happier than, Vikings. Vikings would make me the happiest. Outside of the Vikings making the Super Bowl, I feel like Ravens Commanders would be so much fun. That's what I'm hoping for. Outside of if the Vikings do not shock the world, it would be Ravens Commanders. I think Ravens Eagles probably still the likeliest. No, I didn't get close to filling weekly winners, to maxing it out. I don't enjoy drafting weekly winners. It's one that I do because I enjoy it once the season starts. But I just, second year in a row, I did not realize it was going to fill so early and I lost my chance. Yeah, underdog style daily is definitely softer than DFS. No denying that. Yeah, the Top Shot, they made so many promises. It seemed so good. Like I really believed. I was like, this is something that like it gives you a chance to invest in the player. And like sports cards, sure, they're physical, but like what is the inherent value of sports cards? I don't think there's anything bigger, anything more inherently valuable about your standard sports card than an NFT. So to me, it was just like, it makes all the sense in the world to just move this investment to NFTs instead of sports cards. And then I think they just really dropped the baby. The people behind Top Shot really screwed us on that one. I think maybe we were dumb. We might have just been dumb, but I feel like they dropped the baby there. Yeah, that's right. Crutches, we can both win. We'll both win this year. Fantasy football dad, I feel as if best ball beats out DFS week to week given the equal playing field. Do you mean, when you say best ball, do you mean like underdog dailies? I still like, I love DFS. I'm never gonna, I shouldn't say never. I have no intention of stopping my DFS play. Packs were fun. I've not done it in a while. All right, I'm going to try one more time to get on to underdog to make those picks. All right, the page is at least loading now, so let's see if I can get on. I can't find the sign in anywhere here. Yeah, this is, I can see the underdog page now, but it is, there we go, log in. All right, I think I'm going to be able to get on. Let's see. And then I'll make a bunch of slow picks. All right. Good. Full screen that. Remove this. Stop screen. Okay, now. Okay. We're good. You can see it. Okay, we're good. I do have a JD. All right. right, so now I go to drafts. Actually, I'm gonna just to make sure that I don't miss Judkins, which obviously the sidekick will help me on this front anyway, but just to make sure, I'm gonna go ahead and move up Judkins significantly in my rankings. You can see I was pretty down on him. And then we'll do Eliminator also. That's what a lot of my picks are right now. Yeah, right around there. Still not the best Eliminator pick because I still think there's a good chance he misses part of the season. I think I'm done with Superflex. Yeah, we're good. We're good on these others. Weekly winners. I don't think I'm at that point in the draft any. All right, so we're gonna make some slow picks before I get out of here. All right, I am on the clock in many, so that is good because that gives me potential to get some news values here. Oh, and my sidekick is not showing up here. Let me see if I can fix that. Do I not have? All right, hang on a second. All right, give me 1 second. Apologies. Judkins news is in fact live in The Sims. Love to hear it. All right, give me a second, guys. Sorry. I've been mostly drafting on in Firefox. I didn't remember that I had gotten rid of the sidekick though in Chrome, but apparently I did. I don't know what happened there. All right, drafts active. I'll go find this. I'm very confused. Why is my sidekick not showing up? All right, give me 1 minute here. I want to make sure I feel like I'm doing something really dumb right now and I can't figure out what it is. My sidekick is not showing up on Shady. Are you still here? And are you using the sidekick elsewhere? Because for some reason I cannot open my sidekick on Underdog right now. It's still there on DraftKings. I mean, I can IKB some of these picks. Oh, see above. Oh, okay. They broke the sidekick. Okay, got it. All right. Well, I'll make some of the picks that I can. Probably not going to do all of them without the sidekick right now. But all right, let me. I don't know why this page is not showing up. All right, I'm going to make some of these picks, but let me. All right, you're in BBM right now. Girlfriend just took the bar. Good luck to her. I was yesterday. I was using it yesterday with Pat. All right. Appreciate it, JT. I am back. Allen, Hertz, Barkley, JT. All right, nice team there. Go easy cards with a strong wide receiver room. Okay. All right. We'll make some picks without the sidekick. I can think for myself occasionally. I don't need Shady. Man, Omarion Hampton at 30. I am a pretty big elite quarterback bull in the Eliminator. And I'll still draft 3. That was something that Crutches we talked about it last year. He's really into taking 3 quarterbacks. I don't think he goes at elite quarterback as much. I kind of like just doing both, just like really investing in the quarterback position. I'm going to go Nico Collins. All right, Crutches anti-elite. Yeah, we're disagree there. I just think that like the points that they can score just separate so much that I think it's worthwhile. I'm going to take Judkins. I've said this. I think after 100, he is a viable option on the right team. After 120, he becomes a target. I still think there's a possibility he misses the first 6 games or something, potentially. And I think that there's some ramp up period now that he's with the team, all that. Like he's still not like a lock to be what we hoped he was going to be 2 months ago. Yeah, shady with a spring. I mean, I think Pat and Sack feed the projections to the sidekick. So it's all of them at play there. All right, now I'm getting Judkins in the Eliminator at 164. I think that is a risk worth taking at that point. Clearly, that's not breaking news or anything. All right, so this is the Husky. I've got Chuba Hubbard, RJ Harvey, Jordan Mason, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin Harrison, Ted McMillan, Brock Bowers. Could take Kyler here. If I don't love any of the other picks, I do. I mean, Jaden Higgins is a target of mine. Pittman's fine. This is rough. All right, who are the running backs here? ETN is there. Yeah, I guess I'll go ETN. I have way more Tootin, somewhat more Bigsby. I don't have much ETN, and I'm concerned he's going to get steamed up, so I'll take a share there. Another Judkins team. I already got 5 running backs, and one of them is Sampson, and I have 2 week 9 buys. I still think at this point, like, he's going to move up so quickly. You got to take him when you can get him at 160. Another Judkins team. We're slurping the value right now. I pick 147. BBM, we're at 3563. This is the final pick. We've got Dak, Herbert, and Cam Ward. Omarion Hampton, James Cook, Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, Will Shipley. That's fine. Could add another one. CeeDee Lamb, Ladd McConkey, Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, Jaden Higgins, Keenan Allen. I don't hate that. All right, so I've got all my quarterbacks stacked up already. Could add on to the stacks. WW say SKD. WWSKD. What would the sidekick do? I never really know. Sometimes I do. That's not true. Sometimes I do know. Pretty good in the early season running backs. Could use another upside running back, I think. Sidekick also thinks that Keenan Allen is a 0, just a stone 0. Shady can confirm that. They're projecting for 0 fantasy points. Obviously joking. But I could probably use an upside running back. Maybe a Jarquez Hunter. I don't hate Ollie Gordon as a final round pick. Miles Sanders still. I mean, that is absolutely what the sidekick would do. Is Miles Sanders? I have a lot of Miles Sanders. I often do that click. I'm gonna shoot for the upside though. Jarquez Hunter. I'm gonna shoot for the upside because I've got pretty good early season running backs. Trayvon Henderson at 38 in this eliminator. All right. So this one I have Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is where I will often use bye weeks to break ties. We're at 9, 7, 8. So I go Chuba Hubbard. I think Alvin Kamara would probably be my sidekick pick here. I'm going to go with it. All right, we're at the turn in eliminator. Probably need at least one running back here. I'll go Genty. Yeah. And then a receiver, ideally not week 8 bye, although Amon-Ra is a nice little... Amon-Ra and Puka are nice values there. I don't want to give up too many projectable points because I'm too much of a bye week bro. And it is week 8. It's not like it's week 5. So by then you're already making some money. I'm going to go Genty and Amon-Ra for this one. I'll eat the 2 week 8 buys and figure it out later. Slurping some value on Judkins at 139. And when I say slurping value, I mean where I expect him to go tomorrow. Like where his ADP is going, it's a value. All right, looks like Judkins gone in this one. We've got Krosky Merritt would have been nice on this Jaden Daniels team. I have not been taking much Austin Eckler recently because I've been so high on JCM. Pretty strong start at running back. Could use a tight end if there's any good ones. Jacksonville, Washington. Looks like those are gone. Not a great tight end range. So I think maybe, Rachaad White. That's a nice fall on Rachaad White, who I think I saw very likely to be available week 1. I'm going to check in on chat. Yes, I do. Go Easy Cards asks, with Elim closing in the next day or so, do you like to load up on slows to get that few more weeks of training camp news? I'm literally like checking every hour. What's the fill rate? Trying to get in at, 98, 99%. Just going to load up my final. I've got 30 more to do, and I'm just going to do 30 slows there as we get close to full in the Elim. Yeah, Emwald, I don't know if you're caught up now, but I am only doing one draft. I'm just going to do my slows here because I need to do them anyway. All right, so where are we at? Pick 130. Got Allen and Dak, Pacheco, Mixon. Man, if I do I did Mixon at 106, and now if I do Judkins at 130. I'm taking on a lot of potential zero risk here, but I'm going to do it anyway, I think. J-Jets at 108 in the eliminator. Yes, please. See, 122, I don't think that Judkins is a slam dunk here. I said he's a target for me in the 120s, but it's going to be based on what's available here. So I've got Allen and May, Bijan, Kamara, Walker, Tyreek Hill, Ricky Pearsall, Jerry Jeudy, Cooper Kupp, Christian Kirk, and no tight ends. Could take Kraft. I'm pretty good at quarterback. Like I could just be done with Allen and May. Yeah, I think this is a fine place to take Judkins. So I will be taking him here, I think. Maybe, I don't know. This is a tough spot for him. In the eliminator where he's still pretty likely, or at least, I don't know if he's likely. I think he's likely to miss the beginning of the season. I still think that he's probably more likely to than not. Yeah, I don't have a week 9 bye. I guess I'll do it. That's a tough one. 2-6-7-2 with the final pick in the draft. This is a BBM. I've got Joe Burrow and Drake May at quarterback, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Bashal Tutin, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Miles Sanders, Marshawn Lloyd, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. Oh, this team probably needs a receiver. Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Kyle Williams, Keenan Allen, Trey McBride, and Kade Otten. Yeah, I think this is a team that could use an 8th receiver probably. Jack Besh seems as good as anyone. Let's do it. Pick 29. Nice little fall on Trey McBride. I guess this is right around his ADP. This is where I feel like probably actually T. Higgins there too. I don't know what the sidekick would tell me. Between McBride, Higgins, Jaden Daniels. I think I am still gonna go. Nah, screw it. I'll do McBride on this one. I don't want to have 100% elite quarterback, to be clear. I think that they're good bets in the eliminator, but I'm still not going to do it every single time. All right, 166. No Judkins there. Hurts and McCarthy. JT, Pacheco, Warren, Tutin, Jefferson, Higgins, Devonta Smith, Rome, and Keon Coleman, Goddard, and Brenton Strange. 2-4-5-2. Yeah, I don't feel great about these picks. This is not best spot to be drafting. I don't hate Wandale here. Maybe I will take another Eckler share, actually. Haven't gotten much recently. That's awesome. Yeah. In agreement there. Crutches says, I actually have 52% elite quarterback in the eliminator with JJ McCarthy. Love that. Love that. So to your like the benefit of your teams, I think that there are more like mid-range quarterbacks that could close that gap. So like I'm looking at historical data, which is something I don't always love to do with this kind of stuff. And it's like I love the way the elites often just gap the field entirely. But it wouldn't be that shocking to see some of those mid-rangers, Drake May, Justin Fields, keep up like closer to Lamar and those guys, in which case it's not going to look as good. All right, this one's a 3-3-6-1. I think this is, I do have Dylan Sampson on it, but I still think this is a Quinshon Judkins-ass team. Two, 3-3-1. This is an elim with Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave, Matthew Golden, Mark Andrews. I think I'd rather not take Judkins on this team. I like Christian Kirk for this team, I think. I guess I've got Lamar. I could. I also have Andrews. I don't want to put too much on Baltimore here. I could do Rashad Bateman. I think I like Christian Kirk for this one. Wait, but even in a 12-person pod, if all 4 elites gap the field, which I agree that's unlikely, still 2 spots to advance. Still 2 spots to advance. And I have 9 flex in first 9 rounds. Well, I'm talking about in the eliminator, where you just need to be in the top half, though. So, like, I'm just, yeah. I mean, I like elite quarterback just fine in best ball also, but the eliminator is where I'm really leaning into elite quarterbacks. 6 out of 12. First week, I'm agreeing. Okay. And then variance every other week then based on matchup. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go... Man, pick 106. I'm choosing between Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. Let's go J-Jets here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not dead either way. You can definitely win without the elite. I just think, like, I'm trying to play for the highest floor, and I feel like the elite quarterbacks, whichever one of them puts up 400 fantasy points, and I don't know how likely it is that we see another season like Lamar Jackson last year, but just like his floor last year was so awesome. Like, it's just like you can separate from the other quarterbacks almost every week. He's separating from the other quarterbacks, which is just harder to do, I think, at other positions. So I like it for the eliminator, but yeah, I don't think it's the only way to win. And I get, like, the way you're playing, I feel like you're playing with maybe different advantages than I am. Getting ahead of some of the CLV risers, which is not my strongest suit. Got some of them this year, some nice ones, but Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy, Trevion Henderson, Caleb Johnson. Oh, dead. Caleb Johnson, Aaron Jones. Not actually. I think Caleb Johnson. I'm not super high on him, but probably a fine pick. Dylan Sampson at 116 in this one, RIP, but I'll make up for it with a 149 Quinshon Judkins. You just want to have as many Browns running backs as possible. Don't clip that. I'm joking. I don't mean that. Isaac Arendo at 179. 3551. Tampa, Arizona, Detroit. Is Mike Wilson here? Michael Wilson is here. I don't take a lot of Michael Wilson. Oh, this is one where I just took Kyler because he was a falling value at 110. So yeah, I think Michael Wilson probably makes sense on this team. All right, we're at pick 155. Judkins is there. Probably makes sense for this team. I guess now that I'm drafting, I said I think I'm targeting him after 120. I still don't mean like I'm going to take him every time after 120. I still think it's pretty likely. He went 187 in this one. Still think it's pretty likely that he missed some time. So I think I've done I've caught up on the drafts where I'm going to catch the fall in Judkins probably, because these are picks have been made within the last hour, I think. So I think I got all the value I'm getting there. 3552, Dak, JJ, Bryce Young. Some bad vibes, it sounds like, for Elijah Arroyo. Maybe not taking hold of that job. Could do Jatavian Sanders. Oh, wait, or Jalen Coker. Maybe he's the one that I should be doing. Before he shoots up the board. Yeah, I'll do that. Jalen Coker. Also probably not 100% drafted in that contest. Closing out. All right, here's Judkins at 142. Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Bijan Robinson, James Conner, Caleb Johnson, Dylan Sampson. Another where I took Dylan Sampson pretty early. A.J. Brown, George Pickens, Jawan Jennings, Travis Kelce. Yeah, I guess I'll double up Sampson, Judkins. Take another Jefferson in the eliminator. In the palm, we have Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, Devin Achane, Trevion Henderson, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco, Tank Bigsby, Malik Neighbors, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Luther Burden, Wan'Dale Robinson, George Kittle. Okay. Oh, so I did not get Baker Mayfield on this one with the double Tampa. I like Jonnu here. Jonnu goes so much later on underdog. All right, so we're at pick 34, where I've got Devin Achane and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jaden Daniels did go at 32 in this one. I will often just go Jalen Hurts here. I think I'm going to do it in this one. Another eliminator with Jaden Daniels, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trevion Henderson, and Brock Bowers. So I do have 2 week 8 buys at wide receiver. Probably still too early to take Rashee Rice in this one. Could go with Devonta Smith, or Calvin Ridley feels like a little bit like he'll have a higher weekly 4. Am I wrong about that? I feel like he's going to be targeted a ton this year. I'm going to do that. Got Jamar Chase. I'll go Josh Jacobs. Take whichever of the elite quarterbacks falls to me. Jaden Daniels, Bucky Irving, James Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Justin Jefferson, Jameson Williams, Romo Dunze. Got 1 week 8 wide receiver. I'll add on Travis Etienne on this one. Fields, Walker, Harvey, Pacheco. Damn, I already got 5 running backs on this team. Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, Josh Downs. This is a double click. Do I add? And I only have 1 quarterback on the eliminator team. That's rough. What are the options here? Definitely going to be a 3 quarterback or more. Three or more quarterbacks on this one. I think I'll do Penix and Judkins, I think. Although Ayuk there at 132. No, but he's going to miss a lot of time. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'll do Judkins. I don't know. It still feels like he's pretty likely to miss some time. I'm going back and forth on what I think of this in the eliminator in particular. But I think he's going to rise enough. I don't know. But it's also almost closing, and people have been getting him at 190, I'm sure, for a while now. That's a tough one. All right. That's it as far as my slows, I think. Yep. We're all caught up. So I'm going to go mow my grass. I'll catch up on comments first. Hello, son. You got 9th in a 10-man. You take McCaffrey if he's there, Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors. I think Jalen Warren is pretty elite and should go over Jordan Mason right now. Caleb might not be good and is still a 3rd rounder. A-Rod now with Warren, and he gets the flop lag a year after. I think I've taken a lot of Jalen Warren, not as much as last year. I don't know if I agree with the head of Mason, but I'm a Mason slappy. I'm just a Viking slappy in total. Not only a JJ McCarthy slappy. Yeah, we can all be cokeheads now. Liga was just not that good last year. I have trouble with that click. I haven't really done much Malik Washington. Somebody brought him up yesterday. Maybe somebody I need to start mixing in a little bit. Because I do a lot of Tua as like a last second, or like the final quarterback where I just like need some quarterback points. Yeah, crutches. Come on, I'm an old guy. Can't be doing shorthand. So yeah, maybe Malik Washington makes sense on my Tua stacks, just to like get a stack in there when I've taken a naked Tua. That game could be crucial. I really like Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Vikings, Lions. I don't think it banned RTAs, but they are currently they're adjusting to whatever change Underdog just did. All right. Yeah, I like Aaron Jones too. I kind of wait and let the room decide which of them I get, because at this point it's like I think Aaron Jones usually goes first, but it's like 70-30 probably that Aaron Jones goes ahead of Jordan Mason. So I kind of just let the room decide which one I get. But yeah, I think they're both pretty strong values right now, because both also have pretty huge contingent upside. I think like if anything happens to Mason, I think Aaron Jones also has. Like I've talked about a lot, like Jordan Mason has awesome contingent upside, but I think the same is true for Aaron Jones. So yeah, I think they're both really strong picks right now. Yeah, Tua and Malik seems like I've just been doing Tua and just like not even trying to stack him a lot of the time. But yeah, I should probably do Malik just to make myself happy with the stack there. Yeah, no doubt about that. Warren and Jones both could lead the team in volume along with the pass catching. Yeah, Malik, I don't even see him get drafted that much. Malik Washington. All right, I'm going to be back on Monday night with Mathology. We'll be going live at probably like 8:39 Eastern, somewhere around there. I'll be flying in from Boston that evening, so don't want to say exactly because it kind of depends on when my flight gets in. But yeah, we'll be back with Mathology on this channel on Monday. That will be the start of DraftKings Best Ball Week. I will be doing a lot of content all week, both on YouTube. By the way, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to be there for those videos next week, for those streams. Hit the little notification bell if you want to get alerts when I go live. I'll be doing some Twitter threads, a lot of content next week coming from me during DraftKings Best Ball Week. Looking forward to that. So hopefully I'll catch you guys then. But yeah, we'll be back next stream on Monday. Mondays with Math, Monday evening. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you later.